Hey viewers, QuirkyFan73 here. Considering that this year is My Hero Academia's final season, and since the live-action movie is in the works, I think it's about time that I give my love and respect to every single My Hero Academia movie that has come out. So, let's not waste any time and take a look at the very first movie released in 2018, My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes came out back in 2018, 10 years ago. Well, not 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, which, holy fucking shit, 10 years ago. I still can't believe it's been 10 years, almost 10 years since this movie came out. Holy shit. But anyways, this movie takes place in between seasons 2 and 3. Well, this takes place before the third season. We basically follow Izuku Midoriya, or Deku, and his mentor All Might going to Eye Island. And it's where All Might meets, well, where Deku gets to meet two people. All Might's old friend, David Shield, from America, and his daughter, Melissa Shield. We get to see the two grow more, specifically Deku and Melissa, as they also run into Deku's friends from Class 1A. Specifically, if we're talking about who is there, we're talking about Ochako Uraraka, Katsuki Bakugo, Ejiro Kirishima, Denki Kaminari, Minoru Mineta, Momo Yajirozu, Kyokujiro, Tenya Ida, and Shota Todoroki. Pretty easy cast. So nothing can go wrong, right? They're on an island and they have Godzilla. No, I'm not kidding. They have Godzilla in the anime. Or Godzilla. You guys know what you were doing, Bones. But if that wasn't bad enough, it turns out there were villains in the area. Well, villains that raided the island. And it's basically because they're after this device David Shield built. But there might be more than just that. So this movie came out back in 2018, nearly 10 years ago, and yeah, this movie was a very big deal when it was coming out. You gotta remember that this came out during a time when My Hero Academia was at its peak. The second and third season had just came out. The fourth season was on its way, and whoopity fucking do, My Hero Academia was a real peak show. A lot of people loved it, a lot of people praised it, some saying it was going to be the best shonen anime of all time. And you know what, I'm not going to dive down to the whole My Hero Academia hate train. It's so stupid. But besides that, we got the first movie. So how does your very first on-screen movie, how does it hold up? Honestly, I really like this movie. In fact, I think this movie is really good. Not probably one of the best, but obviously a good stepping stone in the right direction. It clearly has a great story and has good characters to boot. Well, mainly because they're the characters from the anime, but yeah. I'm just going to get things out of the way. I think Deku is a really great protagonist, and I think in this movie we really get to see him shine more in how he relates to Melissa Shield. Their bond is actually really, really great, and I understand why many people ship them. Myself included, but that's a different whole train ride I'm not going to discuss. But, yeah, I think these two characters work really well, and, I think their bonding is really cute. I also like Melissa Shield. Given that she plays a very big role, well, not a very big role, but given that she plays a role in the later seasons of My Hero, she's a great character. She's kind of like what Izuku Midoriya, or what Deku is. She is quirkless, but it doesn't stop her from wanting to be an inventor just like her dad. So, I respect that. And speaking of her dad, David Shield is also another really cool character. Sure, he might, I like how in the anime they kind of hint that he's bisexual, but it's not really discussed whether or not he's gay or not. But, well, okay, he's not gay since he has Melissa, but it's hard to say whether or not if he's bisexual, because a lot of people really hint that the fact that David seems to admire or seems to like how the way he looks at All Might on his phone of a picture of a young All Might, you can kind of see that it's some sort of love, but it's, to me, I think it's just mainly him admiring his friend. I don't think it's love, but I could see some of it. I could see some of that possibly. And speaking of All Might, this is probably the only time we really get to see a muscle All Might in his peak form. And I think it's All Might. He's charismatic, he's funny, he's over the top, and he's very, very buff and strong. And considering this is probably the only time we'll see him in his muscular form in the movies, that's pretty much it for All Might. Now, I would want to push for an All Might solo movie since apparently I heard that Bones is sticking with My Hero and are planning to do 8 or 10 movies. But if they were to do a 5th movie, please do a All Might solo movie. The fans are asking for it. I'm asking for it. Please do this so that way we don't have another JJK situation. Well, I'm pretty sure we probably wouldn't since the anime's over, or well, manga's over. But yeah. So, but what about the other characters? I think the other characters in Class 1A is really good. Considering that we don't see them as much, I think that they're really, really great. I especially love characters like Ochaku Uraraka and Tenya Ida. They also have the same personalities and same stuff we see in the movies. I mean, the animes. And hell, I even like Mineta too. For how a little bit of a shithead he is, he's actually useful. Now, what about the villain, Wolfram? I mean, he's okay. I mean, he's okay, but not one of the best. There's really nothing much to say about the villain because he's not, I hate to say it, but he's not all that interesting. I'm pretty sure this we can all say to every My Hero Academia villain. Well, movie villain. But, what else do I like about it? I love the animation. This was, and I just don't like how many people give Bone Studios to the studio that makes My Hero Academia. I don't like how people give a lot of shit to Bones. I mean, I could understand why, considering that the later seasons kind of diminished a little bit, but that doesn't mean that it's 100% awful. I mean, the first movie clearly shows that it can be peak at its finest. And I think the animation's really, really great. The way how the anime is able to adapt Horikoshi's raw, artistic, and often really cool panels of action sequences and characters, it's really great. And this was before season 5 or season 6, because I still think the first 3 seasons are, in the words of Brown Table, some of the best shonen anime has to offer, including the 4th season. Yeah, sure, the 4th season looks a little dim, but I don't think it's god-awful. I think it's really great still. I think it's still good. Definitely not bad. I still think it's really great. Now, is there anything else I love about the movie? I love the music. The music's really great. Yuki Hiyashi does a really great job with keeping a upbeat, superhero-esque soundtrack while still keeping a little bit of darkness. The movie could get a little dark. There's a little bit of blood. I wouldn't say a little bit of blood, but there's a lot of violence. And I think that it's good. The music, yet again, the music uses a lot from the anime, especially the one and only You Say Run, which is a fantastic musical note score. Really great. Now, please bring back Jet Set Run, because that is amazing. But now we come to the cons of the film. Since I pretty much listed all my pros, I have a few cons with this movie. This movie is not perfect, and one con is that the villains are a little bit weak. Now keep in mind, this is all spoilers, but this movie's been out for almost 10 fucking years, so where's the point in spoilers? But, spoiler alert, it turns out that this entire thing with villains raiding the island, it turns out it was all a setup by David. David ultimately wanted to get this machine that allows someone to boost their quirk and betterize their quirk. he was going to do this to help All Might, who was at the time losing One for All. This was before season 3. So it's actually really deep writing, and I think that it's very interesting because it shows that how much David is willing to go as far as to just saving his friend, not knowing that he risked not only the entire island's life, well, not the entire island's life, the people on the island, but he almost risked his own daughter's life. But then we have another issue. There's a twist that is just so bad. I am sorry. It is very, very bad. If you know what I'm talking, well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the movie, David Shield is mostly accompanied by a butler, and this butler ends up churning on him in the most generic way possible. And I'm like, oh, come on, guys. You guys could have just done better. Like, this is Bones we're talking about. And, I mean, it's fine. Now, if there's one thing that I also want to give credit for, it's the ending. The ending is actually kind of bittersweet and actually makes a tear in my eye. The ending song that was used, Long Hope Thalia, was actually also used in the anime, and that's probably my favorite ED, or probably my favorite song out of the EDs, because it just feels so emotional in a way, because, you just feel like, you just feel so victorious. The end, it's all over, and it just feels like there's nothing else to do but just watch the sunset or just have a good time. Simpler times, But I also but that's pretty much it for this movie. I got really nothing much else to say about My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. I mean, outside of a few cons, but great characters and great animation and a great score to boot, I think this movie actually still holds up 10 years, almost like 10 years later. Sure, it may not be one of the best anime movies. In fact, there are a lot more better anime movies out there, like Your Name, Demon Slayer, or Jujutsu Kaisen Zero. But honestly, for the first movie in My Hero Academia, I think it's actually really good. Heck, put this movie in, just enjoy a movie. Just put it on and with your kids, and I'm pretty sure your kids will get a kick out of it. Maybe you will too. And so I'll just give it an 8 out of 10. Really great movie, and a great start in the My Hero Academia franchise of movies. Now, next time we are going to be talking about the sequel, My Hero Academia 2, not 2 Heroes, actually Heroes Rising, which, I got a lot to say about this movie, so stay tuned till then. But this is KeithFan73, signing off.